Ghanaian government has apologized to Nigeria after it demolished a building within the premises of the High Commission. In a release issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the government of Ghana admitted that the demolition is a breach of diplomatic relations. An investigation is already underway, and Ghana has assured that the perpetrators will be apprehended. Since this development, security has been beefed up around the premises housing the Nigerian High Commission. Ghana has assured the diplomatic community of their safety and that it is a law-abiding nation. Officials from the ministry will be visiting the High Commission tomorrow to assess the damage done to the property. Now let's bring you up to speed with what we know now. The plot of land in question houses the High Commissioner's residence and 4 other buildings. It was ceded to the Nigerian government in the 60s, and sometime in the year 2000, official correspondence was exchanged between President Olusegun Obasanjo and Jerry Rawlings of Ghana, where the issue of ownership was resolved and a sum of 50 million Ghanaian cedis was paid. Now, building works began on the portion of the land after all approvals were sought and obtained from regulatory authorities. A portion of the land had remained undeveloped until 8 years ago when the renovation began, and that is the subject of contention now by a businessman who says he's the rightful owner. Now, on Saturday night, unknown men demolished a building inside the Nigerian High Commission, and hours after Ghanaian officials apologized to Nigeria concerning the incident. And the federal government has reacted to the demolition of a building within the premises of the Nigerian High Commission in Accra. A statement signed by the spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja, Ferdinand Duwonye, said this action is a clear violation of the extant provisions of the 1963 Vienna Convention on Inviolability of Diplomatic Premises. The Nigerian High Commission has submitted a strongly worded letter of protest to the host foreign ministry, registering the displeasure of the Nigerian government. And Nigeria is also asking Ghanaian authorities to take urgent steps to apprehend the perpetrators and provide appropriate security for the High Commission's premises. And Public Affairs Analyst Adeniyi Kunnu joins me to discuss the effects of this on diplomatic relations between the two countries. I'm good to have you join us, Adeniyi Kunnu. Now, we've been seeing several attacks on Nigerians and Nigerian properties in Ghana. What do you make of this latest situation?
I really think that many African leaders should learn to understand that government is in continuum. And as long as the world stands, we will continue to have diplomatic rows if a particular government in power doesn't see what was done by a previous government as something that they should actually continue. Don't forget that when an administration is to leave office, there's what you'd expect them to leave, which is the handover note. That would enable the incoming government to actually understand those agreements or those things that were done by the past government. And I believe that there must have been along the lines what I'll call miscommunication, which actually has resulted in what we have or what we see. But the question again would be that when a country particularly does that to you, considering the fact that Nigeria is the most populous black nation and considering the strength of the country, there are certain things you don't do by the paperwork. You try to do what is called a show of strength and a show of force. I have to remind Nigerians that about 5 months ago, there was an issue that came up where a certain Mr. Nwoye, who of course was part of Nigeria's High Commission in Ghana, spoke. The land in question is actually something on lease, and that whatever it is, that the lease on the land they were had actually been exhausted, but there are plans to deal with this. He said that 5 months ago because this matter did not just happen, it's been on for excess of over half a year. And if you look at it, one would have expected that between then, the past 6 months and now, whatever the issues are would have been resolved, but it's so sad that has come to this. I remember very well when, during the administration of Goodluck Jonathan, about some Nigerians were actually deported because of the yellow fever issue. The Jonathan administration, okay.
Just allow me button here, Adeniyi, allow me button, because again, like you rightly mentioned, in January, Nigeria was forced to deny suggestions of any imminent diplomatic row between Nigeria and Ghana, as the country was allegedly forcefully ejected from a property as well in Ghana. seeing how important the embassy or the High Commission of a country is like the country within another country. How should Nigeria be reacting to this?
I think it will sound as if I don't understand international diplomacy. I think there are certain things that the Nigerian government should do to, first of all, balance this imbalance. Wherever you have your offices at the moment, just close it down. If it is possible, get some of them back into their country. Because if you don't do that, this disrespect will continue. Then my own question again would be that why do we have to build for so long as 8 years and we have not completed the residence of the High Commission? I think that that's another question we should have, because if that building had been rounded off, I don't think anybody would have had the temerity to go there and make a mess of what belongs to Nigeria. And I think that the Ghanaian president should speak to this. When you have the property of a country on a particular location, that particular location is considered that country that owns the property, especially in international policy, international diplomacy, and international law. So how a citizen of a country have the temerity to breach the sovereignty of the country? As a matter of fact, we have expected Nigerian authorities to provide immense security because that particular place is considered a Nigerian territory. So that's another topic for another day. But what is important for Nigeria to do first so that we can gain the attention of Ghana is to reciprocate a might, close down anything that has to do with major Ghanaian businesses at the moment, repatriate their citizens so that you can get the ears of the president of that country. If you don't do that, you'll be considered weak.
Right.
You don't have to kill anybody because nobody was killed. That's important for us to do. Yeah.
Public Affairs Analyst Adeniyi Kunnu, thanks for talking to TVC News.